Hi there and welcome to Apple World. Wendy Williams' life appeared to take a dull turn just later. She uncovered Diddy combs, from stunning allegations of mystery ways of life to chilling dangers against her own child. The quarrel among Wendy and Diddy is more turned than anybody ever envisioned. Tales recommend that Diddy's scandalous parties, dull, privileged insights, and ongoing claims have brought upsetting cases to light. However, might this at any point be associated with Wendy's abrupt downfall and her puzzling medical problems? Monetary bedlam, furthermore, complete vanishing from the public eye. How about we jump into the touchy fight that might have cost Wendy Williams all that more regrettable? You know, hip jump wearing skirts or hip jump being closeted. Furthermore, having plenty of children to demonstrate masculinity that you know and refusal of something that so Wendy Williams and Diddy Coles have been secured in one of media outlets' most scandalous quarrels, one that has crossed many years, professions, and notorieties. Yet how did this all begin to comprehend the full extent of their contention? We need to return to the 9s when Wendy Williams was simply starting to lay out herself as an intrepid radio character. Furthermore, Diddy was ascending to the highest point of the hip jump world. The impact of these two extreme characters was inescapable. Yet nobody might have anticipated the degree of show it would bring, basically consumed at the stake for discussing such, and presently it's everything ending up back at square one. It demonstrates how far the gay development inside hip bounce and sports actually needs to go in the late 90s. Wendy Williams made a name for herself by not avoiding contention. She became famous for her no-limits way to deal with superstar tattle, frequently uncovering the messy clothing of probably the most remarkable ads-up in the music business. And Diddy, then, at that point, known as Puff Daddy, was one of her essential targets. Williams, who was working at New York's Hot 97 at the time, started to spread reports that Diddy was stowing away certain parts of his own life from the public. She indicated mysteries that could possibly harm his standing, especially with respect to his connections. What's more, his lead away from plain view, these tales, however never affirmed, were enough to work up the pot in the firmly so universe of hip jump, where picture is everything, and I was exceptionally poor, yet I was blissful. I've never been roused by cash, despite the fact that I didn't come from cash. I'm propelled by personal satisfaction, so I was there for, 6 or 8 months, and I realized that I wasn't going to leave the island until I had another job. Wendy's suggestions didn't stop there. She even guaranteed she had gotten photographs of Diddy that could probably uncover him in a compromising circumstance during a getaway in group. Despite the fact that she never broadcast the photographs, the danger alone was enough to cause disturbances. As a matter of fact, it's generally accepted that Diddy utilized his impressive impact in the music industry to get Wendy terminated from Hot 97 before she got the opportunity to uncover much else about him. As indicated by a few reports, Diddy supposedly made it clear that if Hot 97 didn't sever tie with Wendy, he would boycott the station, removing its admittance to any music from his name, Terrible Kid Records, and his numerous industry associations. The danger worked. Wendy was out of a task, and it was seen at the time that Diddy had won the fight that I had seen him do it before. I had seen him even tell individuals on the telephone previously, like he did Wendy Williams. Yet Wendy Williams isn't one to go down easily, in spite of the fact that she was constrained out of New York's radio scene for a while. She immediately returned at last, handling her own partnered public broadcast. The Wendy Williams Experience, furthermore, later, on her now notorious daytime talk show, The Wendy Williams Show, all through her vocation, Wendy has clarified that she has zero desire to withdraw from her intense way to deal with big-name tattle, and Diddy has stayed a continuous subject of discussion on her foundation, with Wendy proceeding to imply the bits of gossip she first spread in quite a while. I got one of the most critical minutes in their fight came during a 2017 episode of The Wendy Williams Show when Dolly showed up as a visitor. It was an uncommon example of the two meeting after quite a while of hostility. The consideration was discernible, particularly when Diddy made an enigmatic remark about gathering Wendy's child. Kevin Jar, as per a few watchers, the second appeared to noticeably make Wendy awkward, prompting the hypothesis that Diddy had some kind of hold over her. While nothing plainly evil was said, the trade caused a stir among fans, who were at that point mindful of the well-established pressure between the two. In any case, What truly got individuals talking was the manner in which Wendy responded after the interview typically created, and certain Wendy seemed bothered and equivocal while talking about Diddy's remarks about her child. This persuaded some to think that Diddy could have been sending a not-so-unobtrusive message, helping Wendy to remember her past endeavors to uncover him, and proposing that her family could be brought into their quarrel. It was a chilling second one that alluded to the more profound, more private nature of their contention, to the extent that, is he going to hand individuals over? Is he going to coordinate if the central government believes that him should coordinate, and they going to cut his time cause right presently he's looking at 15 to an existence with every one of the charges he needed to. He will not get out till 70 years old. He around 70, that is the point at which they begin talking about what made this occurrence much more disrupting was the setting encompassing Diddy's scandalous gatherings, which had been the subject of tales for quite a long time. These elite social affairs were supposed to be wild, beyond ludicrous undertakings, went to by the absolute greatest names and diversion, yet as per different insiders, there was a hazier side to these occasions, one that included control, mystery, and power elements that left many inclination awkward. A few previous participants have approached throughout the years, indicating the abnormal, what's more, now and again upsetting things they seen at these gatherings. However, the particulars have frequently been ambiguous. The tales have endured, laying out an image of a scene that was more about control, what's more, strength, than simply fun and guilty pleasure. A couple of times I assumed I was going to pass out cuz it was stowing away on that flight of stairs. You understand what I'm talking about. Also, when they shut the entryways, I knew somebody for Wendy who had gone through years attempting to uncover the underside of the media outlet. These gatherings addressed all that she had been cautioning individuals about. She had long indicated that Diddy's public persona didn't coordinate up with his confidential way of behaving, and the stories emerging about his gatherings just appear to validate her premonitions. In truth, many trust that Wendy's constant quest for reality with regards to Dave's own life made her such an objective in any case. By thinking for even a moment to challenge somebody as strong as Diddy, she put herself in the line of sight of his extensive impact. Also, some say she's been following through on the cost from that point onward, while Wendy was caught up with uncovering the privileged insights of the rich and renowned. D was cautiously creating his picture as a bigger-than-life big shot. He fabricated a domain that spread over music, style, and even TV, all while keeping a painstakingly made public persona. However, in the background, there were murmurs that Diddy's realm was based on more than just business clever. Some guaranteed that he involved his power and impact in ways that went a long ways past the ordinary dealings of a record chief. There were charges that he had a clouded side, one that Wendy had been attempting to uncover for a really long time. Is he this hoodlum that in the background that each is that him, or on the other hand, is that whoop to Wendy Williams? The bits of gossip encompassing Diddy's social life were the same old thing, yet they acquired restored consideration during the 2010 SS, especially after a progression of high-profile claims brought consideration to his way of behaving at these scandalous social occasions. One of the most ridiculously upsetting parts of these bits of gossip included claims that a portion of individuals who joined in Diddy's gatherings were a lot more youthful than they showed up. While no substantial proof has at any point surfaced to validate these charges, they have continued over the years, adding one more layer of interest to the stories encompassing Diddy. Scene needed to get a sense of ownership with what he did as an individual. Shay is the person who threatened to use that firearm out. Shay is the person who shot, so he needs to be held liable for that. Wendy's own association with these tales turned out to be much more private when she started to talk openly about her interest for her child, Kevin Jr. She has referenced more than one event that she stresses about the sort of world her child is experiencing childhood in, especially given the circles he might actually be drawn into as the offspring of a renowned parent. However, she has never expressly connected these worries to Diddy. The planning of her remarks coming after her strained interview with him persuaded numerous to think that she was alluding to the universe of big-name parties and the hazardous impacts that can accompany them. Jay-Z got his wallop by his sister by marriage on camera. What's her name? Solange, you got the F. Don't step in and do nothing. The F. Don't get you care about you getting your beat. It's not difficult to see why Wendy may be so defensive of her child, particularly given the bits of gossip that have twirled around Diddy for so many years. She has spent her vocation pulling back the shade on the amusement industry, uncovering the frequently arranged real factors that lie behind them. glamour and fabulousness, but then regardless of every last bit of her achievement, it appears to be that Wendy has never completely got away from the shadow of her quarrel with Diddy. The inquiry remains. S has her assurance to uncover him come at as well incredible an expense. This is Wendy Williams, the most sizzling radio personality in New York City as we move into the 2020s The Fight Between Wendy and Diddy. Subscribe Apple World for more videos.